Kāpiti Island is one of Aotearoa's oldest and most important nature reserves. Close to the capital city of Wellington, the island is set aside for the protection of native plants and birds, and where human influence is monitored and kept to a bare minimum. The TīTī, commonly known as muttonbird or sooty shearwater, is a taonga and breeds on islands in the South Pacific, including Kāpiti Island. Unfortunately, introduced predators and habitat destruction, coupled with ongoing predation of eggs and chicks by weka, another taonga, have caused dramatic decline of the TīTī population. Kāpiti Ice Cream has partnered with global conservation not-for-profit WildArk to support the Department of Conservation's 3-year project to save the TīTī colony from extinction on Kāpiti Island.
Nā mai haere mai, ki te waiwai Kāpiti o tara rawa ko rangi tānei ki Wairua hoki. Kāpiti is an island off the edge of Cook Strait, 10 kilometres long by 2 kilometres wide, full nature reserve except for this 30-odd acre block in Wairua, which is still owned by our whānau. Kāpiti is significant, certainly through history. Many tribes have occupied Kāpiti at any one particular point in time. Each tribe that has been here has treated Kāpiti with great respect. It was a taonga for all tribes that have lived here. So yeah, a very, very special place.
I can't encapsulate it yet, but it's almost like a constant. It's been a constant in my life. I think the word that comes to mind is sublime. You can't understand that until you come in on the boat and you stand there and just look up and see it's, yeah, the magnificence, I think, of it. Yeah, super special.
Certainly since the rat eradication in 1996, we've seen a massive increase in bird life. Tieki, saddleback, popokautia, there's a whole array of birds that we're seeing, and it's a really cool position for us to be in as whānau to view that.
We have this colony up there of TīTī, so sooty shearwaters or muttonbirds, which are a taonga to local iwi and a very important species around the country. And there used to be TīTī all around the island. We only have about 100, 200 burrows left. We're trying to prevent the impending extinction of TīTī on Kāpiti.
TīTī are such an important component of our island ecosystem. So they're bringing ashore nutrients from the polar Antarctic waters all the way onto land here, and they actually help fuel these ecosystems and elevate them in terms of forest and the invertebrates and the whole life that's within them. So it's really important we maintain that linkage between way out to sea and the land. I'm
Ngāti Raukua ki te taonga, but also kaitahu, and TīTī has played a big role in my life since a kid. And one of the earliest memories I have is actually being dressed up as a TīTī chick for a whānau skit at a hui we were having. So yeah, I feel very privileged to be able to sit on this research, being uri of Ngāi Tahu and Ngāti Raukua.
TīTī face a lot of threats, both on land and at sea. So at sea it's climate change, it's overfishing, it's fishing mortalities, but here on land we can do arguably a little bit more about it. It's predation, it's forest clearance, it's human impacts. In this particular project, it seems to be weka having a major impact on the birds here. And so we're just looking at ways to mitigate that and hopefully mitigate the threats at sea and mitigate the threats on land as well, just so the species can thrive.
A weka is a very busy bird. He is one of your best ground predators that you'll ever come across. With a huge motor, he doesn't stop all day, and most of the night he's looking for food. So he's a pretty awesome little bird.
So I'm the Kairangahau Mātauranga Māori on this project. I'm a student at Te Wānanga Raukua. My role is to understand the values the iwi, Tiatia Wiki Whakarongotai, Ngāti Raukua ki te Tonga and Ngāti Tō Rangatira have for the two manu, the TīTī and the weka, given that they're both Tonga species here on Kāpiti.
Weka are really smart, as many people will know, and they will figure out in those burrows that these TīTī live in, there's a big fat chick to be eaten. So they will go down the burrow once the chick is no longer guarded or protected by its parents, and then the weka will pull it out and eat it. I mean, we can do that one first, as it doesn't require a burrow scope. A big part of our work involves, just like the weka, looking into the burrows, but unlike the weka, we're just trying to figure out how many of the burrows produce eggs, how many of those eggs then turn into chicks, and how many of those chicks ultimately fledge. That gives us an idea of the productivity, and that's something we can then directly compare with mana, and that's how we tease apart the impact of weka on Kāpiti TīTī. So those burrows are 3, sometimes 4 meters long and very complex. So you feed this burrow scope down to look into the burrows and figure out what's going on and which of the chicks survive. All the burrows we just checked had chicks in like late January, and now just a couple of weeks later they're all empty, and this is well before their fledging time, so it's likely that they've all been cleared out by weka. Pretty depressing result, unfortunately. I was hoping for 13 big fat chicks, of course, but yeah. Unfortunately, this has been probably the worst season on record. Weka have done a really good job at locating every chick, and we had a complete nest failure for TīTī this year, probably because of weka predation.
Am I at the end of it, or?
So the more we learn, the more we can design countermeasures. That way we can figure out if we, for example, want to use a modification to burrows, or maybe like fencing off, or seasonal harvest, but we don't know what the solution will be, but the information that we gather will help iwi, for example, to decide what the best way forward is to manage both weka and TīTī appropriately.
So far the framework is looking at 2 networks of values for each manu, and then hopefully where those networks intersect is where we can realise some solutions for resolving the conflict between them.
For this population, really the hope is that it will continue to thrive, that we may actually see cultural harvests begin again on the island, and we just get sustainable numbers year on year, that the bird not only is bringing back all the benefits to this beautiful island, but also for the people that come here.